My original decision to get into government was based on, in 1984, I met the Speaker of the House in Tennessee. And I had known of him through the, because he was a public figure, I had known of him for a number of years. But when we were introduced, he was in the, he had made a decision that he was going to run for governor in 1986. And I was a young PC guy. I was an early adopter of PC technology, and I had helped someone run for Congress successfully, and he heard about it. And so he approached me and said, I'd really like your help in run for governor. And so I did that, and with that came the opportunity to serve with him. And I was hooked immediately, because he was a true public servant. He was a politician, yes, but he knew that once you get elected, there was a job to do. And he didn't run for governor to have the title next to his name. He ran to make a change and to make a difference. And I got caught up in that, and it was infectious. And he was an inspiring figure and a mentor to me, speaking of mentors. And I learned a lot from him, and he gave me opportunities as a young man that really shaped me and led to other stages of my career. After those 8 years of working for Governor McWhorter, I really had I came to a fork in the road. I had a decision to what to do with my career. And there was an opportunity for me to leave public service and to go into the private sector. But then there was also an opportunity put before me to be the IT director for the state legislature, which was at that time a very difficult position. It was a very, very difficult set of circumstances. I was being asked to consider coming in and fixing something that was terribly broken. And, I had some friends saying, Richard, it's not going to pay what the private sector is going to pay, and you're walking into trouble. And this could be the hill you die on. But I actually had a friend and a mentor at that time who gave me some good advice, which was, how you can really distinguish yourself is whether you're brave enough to walk into a difficult situation. There's more opportunity in a difficult situation. There's more opportunity to create change. There's more blue sky. And you'll learn more in a difficult situation than you would if it was just kind of a cushy set of circumstances. And so I rolled the dice, took a chance, went and did that, had a ball, enjoyed that so much, transformed the Tennessee legislature, took it from a paper-based world to a digital world. And so that was that decision to walk into trouble that, lo and behold, the next opportunity that was put in front of me was to be the CIO for the city of Nashville. Same set of circumstances, the same fork in the road. It was a very difficult situation. Nashville had just been graded by Governing Magazine. They had done a digital city survey, and Nashville was graded at the bottom of all cities as far as information technology went. So it was another one of those, very difficult, but a lot of blue sky. And that was a great decision because there was a turnaround, and I learned a lot. That was the first job where I actually had the title CIO. That's the first job where I really had a seat at the table with the mayor, the chief executive. And I learned a tremendous amount. And then that led to an opportunity 6 years later. Microsoft noticed me and noticed what the success I'd had, and they afforded me an opportunity to consult with their customers around the country who were tackling those same issues. The issues were mostly around IT consolidation, and but I'll be honest with you, there was a point in the middle of all that where even though I was still working I was working for the private sector in the public sector, I realized how much I missed being a CIO. It was sort of like I talked about what I used to do instead of what I was doing, and I missed it terribly. And lo and behold, my current job, CIO of the Department of Transportation, I was afforded the opportunity to interview for that, and I've been back now in the CIO role for a year, and I can tell you it feels like home to me. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Again, it was another difficult set of circumstances. So I thought, if you think back, all the way back to the decision I made to walk into the legislature, and then the decision to take a chance and work for the city of Nashville, had I not learned that you can walk into those situations and be successful and use the dysfunction, if you will, to your advantage, and give it, let it give you the authority and the opportunity to shape change. I don't know that, I know that I've drawn on that now in this first year at DOT, is that when I walked into the job and was presented the set of circumstances that I knew immediately what to do. Sure, the scale's different, much bigger stage to be on, but the same issues, the same stuff, and so I wasn't intimidated by it. Best advice? Well, that advice that person put in my ear about walking into, embrace difficulty, walk into it, leverage that to your advantage. That was it. Some of the best advice I think I ever got was unspoken. It was what I saw in others and the way I saw them. Governor McWhirter, as I mentioned, an honest man, hard man. He really showed me, how to work hard in the public sector, and I had another boss at the state of Tennessee, and he was a very, very kind and effective leader. And he convinced me that a management style that embraced that you treat people the way you want to be treated would work. Some people would argue with it that that's a naive way to go about leadership, and so they don't try that. But he did, and he taught me that it was successful. He would talk to the janitor in the same tone of voice that he would talk to the governor, and he would treat them the same way. And consequently, he had so many allies because he never burned any bridges, and he even did that with people who didn't reciprocate that way. Who he did not change how he was based on the conversations he was having. He stayed true to himself, and that was great advice for me. And I've embraced that and tried to practice that myself. And to whatever degree I've been successful at it, I think it's been helpful because I have people say that to me a lot. That you're easy to get along with, and it's not that I don't know how to make a decision or put my foot down when I need to as a leader, but I also I try very hard to be collaborative, and again to treat people the way that I want to be treated, and so that goes to also try to put yourself in that person's shoes, so you can. And think like, okay, what's this experience like for them? What's this decision point like for them? What's at stake for them? And if you were faced with that set of circumstances, what would you need from you? If I'm saying that right, and try to be that way, and it works, and it's sort of my guiding light. Be a continuous learner. Never stop learning. Never stop putting yourself in situations where you can learn from others, learn from books, learn from more formal opportunities for education. I think that, I'm a very inquisitive person, and I like learning, and you're never done, and especially in this industry. I mean, anybody who just thinks they've plateaued in this industry, they've just basically just written themselves off, because this train will fly on by you so fast. And so, I would say to a young person, yes, you've gone through school. Yes, you've had you've spent many years in education. I hope you learned how to learn, because you best not stop. I think the same reasons that drew me in. I think there's something noble about public service. I was never, I never served in the military. My dad did, and I know I learned from him how proud he was of the fact he served his country. And I'm not equating anything that I've ever done to the heroic achievements of folks in the military, but there is that sense that you get of that you have done something noble, and even if you work in government long enough, and hard enough, you'll see the fruits of your labor in the community that you live in, that you drive through, that you travel through. You'll see those results, and it's very satisfying. When I was CIO in Nashville, I could take you to Nashville and show you things that I know is there because I was a part of a team of folks who made that happen. And I have a sense that I'm going to have that same experience at DOT, that I'll look back on my years there and I'll say, yeah, I bent the curve a little bit, and some of that belongs to me. You do have to acknowledge the fact that the public sector, you're not going to get wealthy in the public sector, and but I don't want to sound Pollyannish about it, but that doesn't necessarily motivate me as much. I'm a firm believer that with knowledge comes responsibility. That I think I've learned a lot, and it isn't, and the whole purpose of knowledge is not to accumulate it, but it's what do you do with it, And public service is a great way to take what you know, apply it, and make a difference in people's lives. And I relish that. Find mentors. Find people. Tell them that you've noticed them, and that you like the way they do this or that, and that you would like to learn from them, that you would like to stay in touch with them, that you would like to have opportunities to sit and talk to them one-on-one. Ask, because a lot of us who are in the latter stages of our career would be more than happy to do that, would be flattered to do that, would be honored to do that, and though having those kinds of opportunities to talk, to run ideas by, to run forks in the road past them, and to be able to pick their brain and say, if I have this set of circumstances, and I'm troubled by this, and I'm trying to work my way through it. If you were me, what advice would you give me? So those kinds of resources, human resources, are the ones that I would encourage folks to reach out for.